Audrey Griffin lived her life in motion. She ran along the beach before dawn, salt spray sticking to her eyelashes, training harder than girls twice her size because she believed one day she could stand on the world stage in triathlon. She was only 19, but already a local star, vice captain of her surf life-saving club, an emerging university athlete with sponsorship inquiries, and a big sister who still spent her Friday nights eating pizza with her mom and laughing over silly movies. Her world was small, safe, stitched together with routine and sunshine, a protective bubble created by her tight-knit Central Coast community. Her mother still texted her, "Where are you?" when she was out past midnight. Audrey always responded. That's why, when she didn't come home after a night out with friends on March 23, 2024, her friends and family knew something was wrong long before the rest of the world did. That Saturday night, Audrey was celebrating the end of the season with her closest friends at the Gosford Hotel. CCTV from inside captured her laughing, dancing, buying drinks, and hugging her teammates goodbye one by one. She left just before 2 a.m., wearing a crop top under a denim jacket, jeans, and white sneakers. Athletic posture, shoulders back, walking with confidence. She waved to a friend in the parking lot and cut onto the entrance road, a well-lit stretch that she had walked dozens of times without fear. Police later pieced together that as she made her way down the road, pausing once to change the song on her phone, she was being watched. Adrian Noel Torrens was 53 years old at the time, a drifter with an unstable history who had recently been served with a domestic violence order by a former partner. He had spent part of the evening drinking alone, lurking in alleyways near the hotel, carrying a ragged backpack and pacing in erratic circles. Footage from a nearby laundromat camera captured him clocking Audrey as she walked past, then slowly following. According to investigators, he approached Audrey near a bus stop and tried to engage her. Something was said that clearly made her uncomfortable. Another camera showed her stepping back and quickening her pace. Torrens followed again. The belief is that he grabbed her near an embankment leading down into the brush along Arena Creek. There were signs of a violent struggle on the slope. Authorities believe Audrey fought him aggressively, her nails scraping his arms, her fists landing blows to his chest and face. He reportedly struck her repeatedly, knocking her backwards down the hill. She sustained blunt force trauma to her head and ribs and sustained injuries consistent with strangulation attempts before being forced into the water's edge. Torrens did not simply push her. According to the forensic pathologist's notes read in court later, she was held face down in the cold water until she stopped moving. He left her there, half submerged in muddy reeds, then climbed the hill, wiped his brows, and ran back toward Gosford Station, where CCTV captured him stuffing a phone, assumed to be Audrey's, inside his backpack and boarding a train toward Sydney. The last camera image shows him looking directly into the lens, expression unreadable. Audrey's friends assumed she had crashed at someone's house and went to training the next morning. It wasn't until her mother tried calling her at 10 a.m. and got no answer that concern turned to panic. By noon, her family was phoning hospitals. At 2 p.m., police received a call from a man walking his dog by Arena Creek. He had spotted what he thought was a mannequin in the water. It wasn't. Police officers arrived, set up tarps, and spent 6 hours searching the bank for evidence. Detectives cordoned off the area as parents from the nearby park held their children close, watching ambulances and white-suited forensic teams lifting Audrey's body from the mud. Press releases simply read, 19-year-old woman found deceased in creek under suspicious circumstances. What followed was a month of silent agony. Audrey's funeral brought the coast to a halt. A convoy of surf life-saving competitors, hundreds of them, formed a paddle-out circle in Terrigal Bay and tapped their boards in unison, shouting her name. Strangers who had never met her wept openly. Meanwhile, New South Wales police were methodically building their case. They reconstructed her final movements using street cameras and talked to every witness from that night. A discarded bottle with Torrens' DNA was found near the embankment. Audrey's sneaker was located 15 meters upstream. When pathologists scraped under her fingernails, they found skin and blood matching Torrens'. His phone, retrieved after his arrest, placed him at the exact 200-meter radius of the creek at 2:08 a.m. on March 24th. Even more damning, CCTV captured him running away with a phone in his hand that had Audrey's distinctive glitter case on it. A court-issued suppression order meant much of this evidence was never released to the public or the family until after he was already in custody. Police arrested Torrens at a hostel in Sydney's inner-city Haymarket on April 18, 2024. He reportedly smirked as they handcuffed him, asking only, "What took you so long?" He was charged with Audrey's murder and with multiple historic domestic assault offenses against former partners. His first hearing in Gosford local court lasted fewer than 10 minutes. He did not apply for bail. Audrey's mother sat trembling in the gallery, her daughter's running shoes in her purse clasped tight to her chest. A later suppression order has sealed most of the interview tapes, but detectives confirmed Torrens never expressed remorse. Then, just when Audrey's family braced themselves for a lengthy and emotionally devastating murder trial, everything changed again. Torrens was found unresponsive in his Silverwater jail cell only days after being placed in remand. Guards attempted CPR, but he was declared dead at the scene. Authorities stated there were no suspicious circumstances. He had reportedly suffered a medical episode. The news delivered a second gut punch to Audrey's parents. Her mother told reporters, "He got to escape the consequences. We never got to face him, never got answers." Instead of watching Torrens stand trial, they were left with silence and what-ifs. In the aftermath, Audrey's legacy has transformed into a movement. Her university created a sports scholarship in her name. Her teammates run annual Audrey Miles, an 8-kilometer run, 1 kilometer for every minute she fought for her life along that creek bed. Her mother speaks regularly at women's safety forums, pleading for better lighting, more cameras, and a cultural shift that tells women not to be vigilant, but demands men not be violent. The edge of Arena Creek is now marked by a handmade cross, surfboard decals, and flowers that are replaced weekly by strangers. Some say they walk there at sunrise just to feel close to her, to keep her present, because to let her memory fade would feel like letting him win. Audrey Griffin's life wasn't defined by how she died, but by the ferocious joy with which she lived. She was a competitor, a sister, a dreamer, and a young woman who deserved every sunrise she never got to see. The road she disappeared from is still there, lit, familiar, deceptively safe. Her story, whispered now in hushed voices across the coast, isn't just a warning, it's a promise that people will remember her not as a statistic, but as the girl who ran toward every dream until a monster caught her in the dark. Audrey Griffin's name now lives far beyond that creek bed, carried in the hearts of teammates, family, and strangers who refused to let her become just another cautionary tale. She deserved victory laps, graduation caps, and late nights laughing on beaches, not a life cut short on a road she trusted. Her legacy is a promise that her light will never fade, and that her story will stand as a warning until every woman is safe to walk home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Until next time, take care and be kind.